I first created this system 8 years ago now. It's going on 9 years ago. I actually started working on the whole system and the process. And what I found is that this whole thing's been a discovery process for me over 9 years. The single most powerful tool, single most powerful part of ProCoach in terms of helping people get into action and do what they need to do is the weekly planner. Does everybody understand that? Right? So when you do your weekly planner, you're going to find that you take more action and focused action that get you the results you want than if you don't. And we've been using the program for maybe 2 years or so, the whole system for a couple of years, and what I found is probably 80% of the people in the program were not using the weekly planner. And I went, well, this is stupid. Like, it's the best tool, the most powerful tool. Everybody acknowledged that. They said, yeah, when I fill that thing out, it's great, but I don't get around to filling it out. And I thought, well, how can we get everybody to fill it out? I mean, we could send an inspector over to your house every week and make sure it got done, right? But that would cost way too much money, and you probably wouldn't appreciate it either. We could phone you and ask you if it was done yet, but again, that would be an intrusion on your life, and it would be expensive because we'd have to provide that support. And that was where I came up with this, I think, brilliant idea that I had never heard before. And by the way, I think almost every program out there now does this, is to line our members up with a partner who's in the program, who they talk to on a weekly basis, and who makes sure that they follow through, that they've done their weekly plan. So this is a partner that we call your what does it say, please? Nice and loud.
Success partner.
Your success partner. Now raise your hand if you've got a success partner now. How's it working for you?
Great. Yes.
Isn't it amazing? And what it the purpose we put this person in place is to make sure that you're getting support. So they're not a coach, they're just a peer. You don't have to reveal everything, but once a week we ask that you talk to them on the phone or in person, as far as that goes, and you don't just talk to them on the phone, but you follow a template which is in the back of this program manual. And inside here, you'll see that there's the piece that you need to connect with that person. And I got one right here. Success Partner Program. And right here, there's guidelines. So basically, it tells you what to talk about on the call. And the idea is that you can't actually have this phone call unless you've completed your weekly planner. So if you didn't do your weekly planner, how can you talk about what happened last week compared to your plan and what your plans are for the coming week? So there's a structure, a template to it, and you can easily do your Success Partner call in 10 minutes, 12, 15 minutes maybe. Now, if you want to chat longer, that's fine. But basically all it is talking to that person and saying, how was your week? What did you say you were going to do? And what are you actually getting done? What do you actually get done? And what are your plans for the coming week? That's it. Just run through those things before you start chatting and visiting all that. Each of you gets a chance to do that. So what that does is create a pressure for you to get the book done before you call your partner. Yes, raise your hand if you feel that pressure with your partner. Yeah. If you are a good success partner, you do not allow your partner to come to the call and say, I haven't done my workbook. Say, okay, let's reschedule, or I'll talk to you next week. Don't lower your standards, and don't allow them to rip themselves off by not doing the weekly planner. And if they don't want to do the weekly planner, contact our office, and we'll line you up with a partner who does. Because it's that important. It's a huge, huge piece. Even though it's, seems small, it's a huge piece of helping you stay on track. You use the weekly planner, you get results. You have a success partner, you use the weekly planner. There's that direct a connection. So one of the things we have found is that when you have a success partnership, it's best if we line you up with another person who's kind of like you. Like some people are, very rigid, have high expectations. You said you'd phone at 2 o'clock and it's 2:05. Where are you? Right? Or you said there's this what I call high accountability factor. You said you'd do that and you didn't do it. So that's a person who has very high standards in terms of that. And then there's people that are just more flexible. Oh, yeah, whatever, was it 2 o'clock? Oh, yeah, I knew I was going to phone you sometime this afternoon. Now, which one of those is right and which one's wrong? There's no right or wrong in it. They're just different styles. They can both be equally effective. right? A very flexible person can be really effective, but they would be a frustrating success partner for a person who's really highly accountable. So what we do is try and line you up with people and support you to line yourselves up with others who are kind of that same level of accountability. So we have 3 levels: highly accountable, moderately accountable, highly flexible. And you want to ideally match yourself with somebody who's in that category. And so at the quarterly seminars, we give you a little sticker, you choose which one you want, and then you look around for a partner who's in the same accountability. In the quarterly seminar, we create an environment where you can connect with other people. If you want to get a new success partner, then you want to be proactive. You want to look around and see who you want to be with, who you think is going to support you, rather than just picking any old person, right? So at the quarterly seminar, as soon as you get there, start looking. But by the first break, if you haven't found somebody, we'll put everybody together that's looking for a success partner, and you see if you can find somebody there. If not, or if there's a situation where you can't be at the quarterly seminar, you miss the seminar, or you're new to the program, then you contact our office, and we will help do our best to line you up with somebody else who we think would be compatible. Now, they may be in a different city, even a different country, but that support is that important that we want you to be able to have it. The other thing about the success partnerships is that they end at the end of the quarter. So at the end of in January, when you come to the quarterly seminar, your partnership ends automatically unless you decide to renew it. There's a reason for that. Sometimes people feel a little guilty saying, I don't want to continue as your success partner with somebody, right? So we say they automatically end, and you can simply say to the person, it's been great working with you as a partner, and now I want to meet some new people. I just want to try working with somebody else. There's no slight to choosing a different partner. Or you can say, wow, our partnership really worked. Shall we continue to working together for another quarter? Okay, so there's no pressure either way. And some people change partners every quarter. Others I've been with my partner now for 3 years, worked with another partner for several years before that. So here it is. So success partner contact information, name, phone number, email address, first weekly meeting, anything else, best time of day for calls. And then you guys set up your calls. Most people like to do it at the same time every week. My life changes so much. My partner and I set ours week by week, but we always set the meeting for the next week before we hang up the phone from this week to make sure it's in the calendar. Make sense? Okay, any questions or comments on success partners? Okay, here's what I found. For 95% of people in our program, success partners really, really work. I strongly encourage you, at the very least, to try it. And if you can't find the right partner, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 quarters to find the right partner, even a year. But once you found the right partner, raise your hand if you've got a really awesome partner right now. Yeah, look at it. And there's something about that that really makes a difference. Now, having said that, many of you in here are new in the program. If possible, I really encourage you to try and lasso a veteran in the program. Like Carrie's been around for a couple of years. You're going to do well in terms of getting support from her because she knows a little more about how ProCoach works. And even though it's not her job to teach you, it'll just naturally happen.